Criminal Justice is in many ways the hot-starriest of JioHotstar shows. Stagey, shiny, simple, accessible. It's a show that isn't drunk with ambition or going for high drama, but merely offering the bare basics of a functional crime thriller. But there's something to be said about doing the basics well and delivering on the promise of comfortably watchable mid-TV. A compelling JioHotstar series these days might be frightfully rare, but hey, at this point I'll happily take a perfectly competent, well-plotted one.
हम क्या करेंगे?
हम वही करेंगे जो हमारा नाम है, डिफेंस।
If we are to live in the age of ambient viewing and TV+, which is the industry term used to describe unambitious, family-friendly, low-hanging fruit shows aimed at converting network TV and daily soap audiences to paid streaming subscribers, I'd argue that this series does that well. This is a brand of TV+ that I can absolutely get behind. Partly because this season, directed by Rohan Sippy and written by Harman Badala, Sandeep Jain and Sameer Mishra, recognizes how much effort and work goes into writing and executing simplicity done well. Even breezy pleasantness and functional thrills for 8 long episodes is by no means easy to pull off. Mild-mannered middle-class murder mystery specialist Madhav Mishra, played by Pankaj Tripathi, is back. At this point, I'm not quite sure how to feel about the character and performance. On the one hand, he remains undeniably endearing and enjoyable to watch. On the other hand, this is once again Pankaj Tripathi on autopilot, playing a variation of the same character we see him play on screen a few times a year. Anyway, Madhav is a now famous criminal lawyer who's doing far better for himself these days with a swankier Mumbai office, alongside his 2 juniors played by sincere Barkha Singh and Atma Prakash Mishra. He's even working with a schmancy corporate firm which is intentionally weaponizing his gentle image and Aam Aadmi appeal to win cases. The greedy corporation using the everyman underdog lawyer to crush the little guy. That is until a new high-profile murder case comes calling. A woman is found dead, which I know could legit be the opening line to the plot synopsis of most shows these days. Anyway, she was found in the arms of her lover, Dr. Raj Nagpal, played by the always excellent Mohammad Zishan Ayub. The good doctor's ex-wife, Anju, who lives next door, played by a show-making Surveen Chawla, and their young neurodivergent daughter, Ira, are also suspects. Madhav is hired to represent Dr. Nagpal and uncover what actually happened and who actually done it. There's enough here for a solid, though unoriginal murder mystery. The messy love triangle, the fraught family dynamic, the creepy ex, the building stalker, and so on. The breezy, pacey, and very watchable first leg of Criminal Justice, A Family Matter, left me pleasantly surprised. 4 seasons in, this franchise still has legs, it seemed to suggest. The solid cast here goes a long way in keeping you invested. A returning Kalyani Mulle as the police inspector who's clearly watched one too many cop dramas, Asha Negi as the victim, a scene-stealing Meeta Vashisht as the rival counsel, but it's a standout Surveen Chawla who's the most memorable here. The ever-dependable actor always understands the assignment, but she rarely gets her due. I even appreciate director Rohan Sippy's use of longer takes. The bar is so low right now in this, the age of hyper-cutting, that anytime you see a show or film that holds an average shot for more than like 3 seconds, you're like, slow burn masterpiece, take all the Oscars. But the defeating deal breaker here is the length. The writers have clearly been given a mandate to fill 8 episodes come what may, and after a point you can feel the narrative feet dragging and scrambling to fill time. Somewhere within this is a fairly solid 6-episode show that's been stretched into a tiring 8-episode one. A thriller like this demands that the pace, urgency, stakes, and tension rise in the last few episodes, but here they remain stubbornly flat. What begins as an engaging courtroom drama with much fodder for twists and thunderous revelations quickly becomes an arena of stagnation. The narrative doesn't reach a pinnacle as much as it plateaus. By the end, you're not exactly dying to find out who the killer is as much as you are mildly curious. It doesn't help that I can't decide whether the so smart it's dumb big final reveal of how the murder actually took place is massively silly or just irritating and poorly conceived. And there are some very enticing elements here to play with. A man and his ex-wife who appear to maintain a strong, caring relationship, both on trial for the same murder, who gradually come to realize that their individual survival may depend on implicating the other one and throwing them under the bus. But it's barely explored. The low-energy cliffhangers certainly don't help. I'd argue that in a series like this, which is all about plot with the characters serving as mere chess pieces, cliffhangers matter a lot. But here, they range from serviceable to straight-up absent in certain episodes. There are other missteps too. Criminal Justice's tonal struggles continue. Madhav Mishra continues to be a comedic protagonist navigating a thriller series, and that clash is frequently jarring. The chunk of the narrative devoted to following Madhav's personal life and law practice is essentially a workplace comedy. So we get multiple scenes like Madhav teaching his wife how to drive, which is played for pure comedy, cut to the victim's mother crumbling on the spot when she first sees her daughter's dead body. We also mustn't forget that criminal justice is a fantasy. This is a show where the system is efficient and decisive and works. Everyone does their job. Lawyers are sensible, judges are fair, the police seem to care, delays are non existent, and there appears to be an actual interest in finding the truth and justice actually being served. Like I said, fantasy. I walked out of Criminal Justice, A Family Matter, tired. The simple, effective charms of the early episodes eventually make way for repetitive sameness. Familiar formula gives way to flatlining, and I get it. This is a show that wants us to settle for the absolute basics. Just well-packaged, dependable, goes down easily storytelling that's strictly good enough and aims for the middle, and that's fine. I'm willing to meet it where it is. I'm not expecting it to be any more than it wants to be. I'm clearly willing to settle. Just don't be irritating. Is that really too much to ask? You can watch Criminal Justice Season 4 on JioHotstar. For more reviews like this one, subscribe to The Hollywood Reporter India.